Pittsburgh Penguins won last night 5-3. They take this series 4-1, besting my prediction. I said Penguins in 6. I'm not doing very well at these playoffs, as I'm sure no one is. But the important part is they get a nice long break, a week of rest, and they face the winner of Toronto and Washington, which looks like it's probably going to go 7 games. So they battle it out. The Penguins will be resting, hopefully getting Hagelin back, hopefully getting Kunitz back, hopefully getting Murray back, because they need all the players they can get. They need to get healthier if they're going to be facing Washington and Toronto, because those two teams have scored the most goals in the playoffs after Pittsburgh. So we know it's going to be a high-scoring series, and we know that those are going to be fast teams. Hagelin's their fastest player. They need him back for the next series, which is going to be huge. But let's talk about this game. Well, once again, bad start from the Penguins. 5 games in a row, the Penguins have had bad starts, and they're very lucky that they're playing a team that is not great, and they've had a goalie who can bail them out at home, because you can't afford to keep having bad starts and expect to win. It just doesn't work like that. So again, a bad start, but luckily they're able to get away from it. And get the win. But Fleury was outstanding that first period. The Penguins got a power play. Bang, Phil Kessel in the net. Opportunistic. You have to make good on your opportunities, my Babcock says. That was a heck of a shot. No goalie in the world is stopping that. Phil has been on his game. Phil the Thrills coming to play. That line was Penguins' best line all night. Brian Rust, once again, when Columbus was getting back in the game, made it 3-0, 2 huge clutch goals. And, Brian Rust is a sneaky player because he doesn't do much in the regular season, but in playoffs, he comes up big. He's now scored against Tampa Bay. He's now scored against the Rangers. He's now scored against Columbus in elimination games. He just gets up for them. He gets that drive, and that's what I love. And he pops them in the net. His second goal is a pretty nice backhander. First one, he got as a rebound. Malkin got slashed on that play and then cross-checked, and there was no call. There was eventually a call on the cross-check, but that was brutal. And then you got to love Phil Kessel coming to his defense. That just shows how much Kessel cares about his teammates. And, all the Toronto media saying, oh, he gets his coach fired. He's not a good team guy. That just shows how much he cares, how much he wants to win. And I loved that Kessel did that. I loved that he had that energy and that he had that tenacity to want to protect his star like that. And, nothing really happened of it, so that's good. But, it was nice to see that Kessel had that drive. But he didn't, as long as he didn't go fighting the guy, which he didn't. So, maybe not the smartest thing, but I enjoyed his passion. And then Columbus was getting back in the game. Just like Columbus was getting back in the game, they have a goal disallowed that would have tied, made it 3-3. But Alexander Wedberg's in the crease. Marc-Andre Fleury's inhibited, can't move. Right call. John Tortorella is very angry, but that was the right call. It shouldn't have been a goal. And then just so you know, they get a penalty. Sidney Crosby, bing, on the power play. And that angle is ridiculous. He scored from that spot about 4 or 5 times this season. No goalie in the world is stopping that. As bad as Bobrovsky's been this series, he's not stopping that shot. He's not stopping the Kessel shot. That was a sick pass from Malkin, a sick shot from Crosby to go down on one knee, get it with all the power and put it top corner. Just ridiculous. And then before we know it, it's 5-2. A minute later, it's 5-2 when Scott Wilson, surprisingly, has all these hands. Does a nice little, I don't know if it was on purpose or accidental, but accidentally on purpose, little backhander, kind of flicks it with his back of his feet, and then kind of gets the backhander spin around it in the net. That was a pretty slick goal. I didn't think Scott Wilson had them in him. Again, not really a goal. Bobrovsky could stop. I have no idea where his defense was. He hasn't been great this series, but the goals the Penguins scored last night were pretty nice. The Penguins, once again, were outplayed for a lot of the game in long stretches. Fleury had 49 saves, which is the most ever by Penguins goalie in the playoffs. Penguins had 30, which is no slouch, but, you got to get more if you want to win, and they scored 5 goals, so Bob wasn't very good. They probably had better quality chances than Columbus, but you still want to get more shots, and Pittsburgh's been getting a bit of away from their identity. They, even though they've won this series, I don't think they've really played a full, complete game yet, not as well as they did last season. And yes, not having Letang is huge, and, not having Strite's probably, not playing Strite's also probably not helping, but, the Penguins are lucky. They've been opportunistic, but they go into next round, and Holtby and Anderson probably won't be, whoever they play, they're probably not going to be as bad as Bobrovsky. So they got to work on limiting chances, even though they did. Columbus didn't have too many grade A opportunities. They didn't get a lot of odd man rushes or anything, but, Pittsburgh should still be out shooting them, because they did and outchancing them, which I think overall they did outchance them. I think they just missed the net a lot. Like overall this series, Pittsburgh definitely had way more scoring opportunities and scoring shots on net and scoring chances, even though Columbus had more shots. It just meant they were more accurate. So Pittsburgh did win the Corsi battle. Columbus did win the physical battle, and now Columbus is out. So they did get that, but Pittsburgh getting more accurate on those shots could be nice because it's you could have another situation like this again, and we don't know how bad the goals are going to be next round. They could be good. I have a feeling that they'll be good. They haven't been great. Holtby and Anderson have not been great for Toronto and Washington, but I don't expect that to continue next round. And Matt Murray's still not skating, so I think that definitely having a big break will help, because I think you get him back on the ice, you get him skating. That's a huge boost, but it does look like it is a groin injury. You don't want to rush it. I don't think it's not looking like he'll be ready for round 2, even if it does start in a week, which is not great. But the good thing is that the Penguins, well, they might not have. I mean, it depends. If they play Washington, they won't have home ice advantage. But if they play Toronto, they will have home ice advantage. And Fleury's very good at home, so that's probably you're probably up 2-0 there based on how well Fleury plays. But you play Washington, you go there. Fleury's not as good on the road for some reason. It's very strange. So the Penguins are going to really have to tighten up defensively in front of them, which they were a little bit loosey-goosey at times against Columbus, and not having Letang will make you loosey-goosey, but maybe it's whether it's fixing up the partners or whatever, because Brian Dumoulin was fantastic, but and I thought Amata looked good, but kind of outside of them, it was a little bit loosey-goosey. Justin Schultz did not have his best game yesterday, even though he's played really well. He's very good at generating shots, not the best at suppressing shots, which has kind of been the theme for Pittsburgh this year. But if you're playing high octane teams like that, you're going to have to kind of work on that. But Toronto also doesn't suppress shots, so that could be a very interesting series. So yeah, I mean, I hope it's Washington, because I love those series, and I'm also a Leafs fan, so I don't want to have to choose. But at the same time, Pittsburgh has a better chance of beating Toronto, and I picked, but Washington lost would mess up my bracket, but it's already messed up, so whatever. Anyways, so yeah, let me know what you thought of this series. What did you think of Chicago getting swept? I think that was a surprise that no one saw coming. Please like if you like, subscribe if you really like it, share with all your friends, tell everyone, and I'll see you in the next round. All right. What series are you looking forward to tonight? I'm going to go down to Maple Leaf Square tonight. I'm going to watch Washington and Toronto. If you're in Toronto, I'm going to be there. Say hi, and should be a fun time. All right. See you later.